fourth season of the NFL. Yeah, yeah. It's a really good script, man. It's a really good script. I think people are going to be shocked by this. But let me get off the phone here with you. Let me let me get back here and let me get down to business. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I here in my hand I possess the 104th script. Whoa. This is saying Patrick Mahomes is going to stop playing football to go join the Muppets live on tour. This is saying the Chargers are going to be developing their own anime series. The Baltimore Ravens are now touring with Kodak Black. Forget that script. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, grandparents, whatnot, anybody who watches this podcast, welcome to the ninth installment of the Fourth Down Forum podcast. Let's get this out the way right now. Y'all are going to ask what's up with the old setup. I wanted to go back to my roots a little bit. I wanted to, when I was doing the What a Play podcast, me and my boy Jalen, we would do the podcast in here. We had multiple various places we would do the podcast. Wanted to give it a bit of that feel. Don't get it twisted. This is no longer the What a Play podcast. Still the Fourth Down Forum. That said, welcome to episode 9. I am your host, Dereck, your mom's favorite. All jokes aside. I am your host, and I'm excited to be doing this. This is your first Fourth Down Forum special. This is going to be my NFL predictions and videos. I do apologize. I wanted to get this video out before tonight's game between the Chiefs and the Lions. However, my household has been battling a viral infection, but we're here now, right? And this episode will be posted before Sunday's slate of games, so we got that going. Starting off the bat, let's go with the AFC North. Now, a lot of you think, right? A lot of you think I'm going to go with this team right here to win that division. And I'm going to put my bias to the side. But I just can't do that. I can't do that. I've seen the potential my team has when healthy. Lamar Jackson, when healthy, had us at one point 2 years ago as the number one seed in the AFC at one point. Factor in what we've done. We re-signed Lamar to a long-term contract. We got rid of Greg Roman. We got rid of Steve Saunders, who was our strength and conditioning coach. We brought in Odell Beckham. We drafted Zay Flowers. You still got J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill there. You got Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Charlie Collier there. The defensive side of the ball, we traded for Roquan last year, so we got Roquan, Patrick Queen. Marlowe's out right now, but he'll be back. So we get Marlowe back. We got our safeties in Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. So that's my front runner to win the AFC North. Now Cincinnati, the Bengals. I am not discrediting you one bit. I am an LSU fan, so I'm all too familiar with Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, we call Flacco Joe Cool, so I'm not giving him that name. Joe Burrow. I'm familiar with Jamar Chase. Game recognizes game, right? You have Mixon, which I need Mixon to go off because he's on one of my fantasy teams. You got Higgins. You got weapons. You guys are stacked. I just think we're going to be a little bit better this year. That's just me. Cleveland. Why, oh why in the blue hell did you give that person that much damn money? He did not deserve that damn money, but hey, you sold your soul for a quarterback. Good for you. Y'all have players. Don't get me wrong. You got Amari Cooper. You got Nick Chubb. You got Myles Garrett. I like all those guys. I'm pretty sure there's guys I'm missing too. But I just see it playing out the same way it does every year. Good on paper doesn't translate to on-field success. Pittsburgh. The Squealers, Schittsburg as I like to call them. Yes, I am a Steelers hater. Yes, I'm from Baltimore, born and raised. If you couldn't tell by now. It's going to seem like I have y'all missing out on the playoffs just because I don't like you, but that's not entirely the case. It's part of the case. Don't get me wrong. It is part of the case. The other part is I don't know how well Kenny Pickett's going to do in year two. You got a monster of a wide receiver in George Pickens. You have Minka Fitzpatrick, who arguably is one of the top five safeties, so not discrediting that. And you got a hell of a pass rusher in TJ Watt. But our division is always stacked. And I think it's going to be us and Cincinnati in the playoffs. But I'll get to that later. So moving on from the AFC North over to the AFC South, you got the Texans, the Jags, the Colts, and the Titans, right? My thing on the Texans, they drafted CJ Stroud. Great, that's great for them. I think he's going to go through a learning curve and he's going to go through a rookie slump. This man, week one, is without three of his starting linemen, if not four of them. So you're going to have a patchwork line. D'Amico Ryan, I like the head coach hiring, don't get me wrong. We'll see what happens there, though. And you got Dereck Stingley. Shout out my boy Dereck Stingley, LSU product. The Colts. Now, as a Ravens fan, I'm not supposed to like the Indianapolis Colts. Because apparently, way before I was born, they moved the Baltimore Colts to Indy. And that happened. So, here's what it is. That said, I think Anthony Richardson has the potential to have the most upside and be the best rookie prospect out of all of them in the league. That said, Jonathan Taylor is holding out as well. I think he's on the PUP list to begin the season. You got Michael Pittman Jr. I just don't know if that's the team I see making a big impact right now. So you go from the Texans and the Colts over to the Titans. They got Derrick Henry, one of the top running backs in the league. There's no denying that. I picked him up on fantasy. He's going to ball out this season for sure. They went and got one of the best receivers in DeAndre Hopkins. Great, cool. However, their quarterback is getting up there in age, and I don't know if he can hang with the young guns anymore. That said, the team I have winning this division is one of the young guns in Trevor Lawrence, Sonny from Remember the Titans. Yeah, they got Trevor Lawrence. They traded for Calvin Ridley. They have Travis Etienne. Give me the Jaguars to win the AFC South. So we've covered the North, we've covered the South. Let's go to the AFC East. Yeah, let's do East, because I'll save the West for last. The AFC East. You got the Bills, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Jets. I'm going to put this out there right now. The Jets are the Jets. I don't care that they have Aaron Rodgers now. I don't care that they have Dalvin Cook. I'm still one of the people sleeping on the Jets. Because same as the Browns, translates on paper well, but can you transfer that on field? You know, they got wide receivers, that's known. But look at who else is in their division. Let me put this out there right now. The Patriots, I don't have the Patriots making the playoffs. I don't know where I stand on Mac Jones right now. We'll see what happens. They signed Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke is not what he used to be. I'm just going to put that out there right now. And I know they got Ramondre Stevenson. But yeah, the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a sneaky, competitive team. This team has been a thorn in my side every time we have played them. I remember I was out shooting pool with one of my best friends. Me and her were out shooting pool after work or something one day, and I was watching the game, and I just had this look of disappointment on my face because the Dolphins beat us. Last year, we were mounting offense started off hot. Defense crumbled in the fourth quarter and gave the lead to the Dolphins. Their starting corner, Jalen Ramsey, he's hurt right now. But don't discredit this team. This team has Bradley Chubb that they traded for during the trade deadline last year. Waddle, Hill, Tua Talladega, Nick at Night. The team I have winning this division, however, is the team that I usually always have been picking to win this division since at least 2021. Give me the Buffalo Bills. You have Josh Allen. You have Dawson Knox. Your running backs are a little iffy. That's my only issue with you. Yeah, Von Miller. I know he's on the pup list right now, but he's coming off of that list. Give me the Bills. You got DeMar Hamlin on the defensive side of the ball. Give me the Buffalo Bills to win that division, man. That said, let's move on to the final AFC product, the AFC West, which are the Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos, the Chiefs. As it stands right now for the Chiefs, they are currently, I think, tied 14-14 in the game that I am currently watching. By the time this recording goes out, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. They are always going to be in contention as long as they have Patrick Mahomes. They got some guys like Sky Moore, Justin Ross, guys like that. They have Travis Kelce. He's out right now with a bone bruise, but we'll see what happens. The Raiders. I don't know how to put this any better. The Raiders downgraded at quarterback. Their quarterback is no longer Derek Carr. It is Jimmy Garoppolo. I have said this before, and I will say this again. Jimmy Garoppolo is a product of being a backup quarterback to Tom Brady and then being in Shanahan's system. This move is going to fall flat on its face. I feel that's my opinion. Nobody else's. You know, Josh Jacobs, we don't know where he stands with that. So that's an issue too. The Broncos, the Broncos went out. They got Sean Payton. How many receivers do they have on their team now? 2, 3. They got Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick. Unfortunately, love Tim Patrick to death. Former Baltimore Raven. He went down with another ACL tear. I don't know who this team's tight ends are. I know Sean Payton is there. Cool, great. However, there is a very underrated team. I'm not saying this just to get on my Chargers friends' good side. This is how I genuinely look at it. In Los Angeles, the Chargers. They have Justin Herbert. They have Austin Eckler for another year. They went out and drafted Quentin Johnston. They have Keenan Allen, which I've always liked Keenan Allen as a receiver. They got one of the Bosa brothers on their defense. They got, let me make sure I'm saying this right. I believe they got Derwin James at safety. So if I had to pick a division winner right now, this one's a toss-up for me because it's either going to come down to 2 teams. It's going to be the Chiefs or it's going to be the Chargers. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's move on to the NFC. Starting with the NFC North, since we did the AFC North. You got the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears. Oh my. The Packers. For those of you who don't know, and I'm sorry, Mike, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I don't know how I feel about Jordan Love right now. I'm 50-50 on him. We got Aaron Jones out there. Got Jair Alexander. There's some other pieces as well. I just don't know how I feel about that, and I can't be biased for both teams that I root for. It's just not in me. The Lions, sneaky, underrated, good team. They got Jared Goff. I don't care what any of you say. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. They got Aiden Hutchinson, one of the best pass rushers in the league, if you ask me. And they got these other pieces too. Their coach, Dan Campbell, he's one of the better coaches out there. The Bears, Justin Fields did his damn thing last year. I think he rushed for 1,000 yards, but people were cracking jokes that he just runs in a straight line. Whatever, he did the damn thing. He's got pieces out there. We'll see what he does. However, the team I have winning this division is the Minnesota Vikings. And the reason I say that is because, sorry about that, I was looking at something. The reason I say that is because they have Kirk Cousins, which Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He just can't win in prime time for some reason. They have my boy Jettas, Justin Jefferson, out of LSU. They no longer have Dalvin Cook. They're still pretty damn good on the defensive side of the ball, guys like Hunter and whatnot. So give me the Vikings to win the NFC North. The NFC South, it's the Panthers, the Falcons, the Buccaneers, and the Saints. This is a no-brainer. Give me the Saints to win that division. They have Kamara coming back from suspension. Michael Thomas, if he can stay healthy, and that's a big if because his career's been injury-riddled. They have Derek Carr, which Derek Carr is a good quarterback. He is an upgrade from what they were rocking with, if you ask me. That's my opinion. I got the Saints winning this division. The Panthers, I don't have the Panthers winning this division. One, because I told one of my coworkers that I'm going to be the biggest Panthers hater there is this season. Two, I don't know much about Bryce Young outside of what I've seen in college. College does not always translate over to NFL success long term, i.e., Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow. What other ones am I missing? There's some other ones I'm missing too. Ryan Lee. But I digress. The Buccaneers. I don't trust Baker Mayfield as quarterback. Yeah, they got Mike Evans. They got rid of my boy, playoff Leonard Fournette. What the hell are y'all doing? Other than that, what they rocking with? They got some wide receivers. I'm not going to take that away from them. And then the Falcons, I don't even know, man. I don't know. They got Cordell, they got Bijan, but I don't have them winning that division. So give me the Saints for the NFC South. So we covered the South, we covered the North. Let's cover the NFC West. 49ers, Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams. Take the Rams. Nope, don't take the Rams. Take the Cardinals out of contention right now. Not because my boy's a Cardinals fan, not because I'm a hater, but Kyler Murray is out the first 4 games of the season, and it's pretty obvious to those of us that watch football and pay attention, the Cardinals are tanking. If not for Caleb Williams, they're tanking for Marvin Harrison. We'll see. But they got rid of Colt McCoy, who can win you games. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. J.J. Watt retired. This is going to be a learn and grow tanking season for them. The Rams, Cooper Kupp starting out on the IR. Donald's still there. Stafford's still there. I just don't see this team making it. Now the Seahawks. Geno Smith had a great redemption story last year. Comeback. They tried to write him off, but he ain't right back. One of my favorite lines from last season. They got Jamal Adams, right? They got Metcalf. They got these running backs that are phenomenal. However, the team I have winning this division, if healthy, are the San Francisco 49ers. They have the other Bosa brother. They have Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, who went on to do pretty damn good things before he got hurt last year. They got Deebo Samuels. They got George Kittle. They got, I believe, one of the tackles, Richardson. Give me the 49ers to win that division, which leaves us with the NFC East. You got the Commanders, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Eagles. Last year on the podcast, if we did one, I believe I picked the Eagles to win this division. This year, I can't say for sure Philly is going to win the division. It's going to come down to 2 teams, I feel. It's going to either be Philly or it's going to be Dallas. Dallas, I live in Texas, so I see Cowboys games all the time. I'm not a Cowboys fan. We know this, but I do pay attention to football. I like to watch all the games to cover stuff for the podcast, to get my input on when I do like Twitter Spaces and whatnot. They have Brandon Cooks. They traded for him or signed him. They have Gilmore. So that makes that defense 20 times nastier than it already was. They have Tony Pollard. If Pollard can stay healthy. They have my boy who, shout out my boy Isaiah, because funny story. I remember saying Gallup, if he could stay healthy, which he's had some injury issues in the past, I said that boy was going to be something nice. And I'd like to feel I hit on that. You got Diggs. You got Parsons. So, and then on the flip side, the Eagles. You got Jalen Hurts, who did his damn thing last year. Did his thing in the Super Bowl. He balled out. A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith. They took Georgia's defense and just put them on the Eagles. So, flip a coin 50-50. It's one of those two. The Giants. I got a lot of friends and family who are New York Giants fans. They have our old DC, Wink Martindale. They have one of our old tight ends in Darren Waller. They have Saquon Barkley back for another year, and they have Vanilla Vic, Danny Dimes. However, I don't see them winning the division, and that's not me being a hater, because I have no reason to hate them. The Commanders. Let me get to the Commanders, and then we'll circle back to the Giants. I feel with a new ownership in place, the Commanders are going to do great things. I just don't think that's going to be quite this year. I think it's going to be rebuilding. It's going to be learning. It's going to be growing. You know, hey, shout out to the Commanders, though, because they did end my Ravens preseason streak. So, I mean, in the streak, but shout out to y'all. They got some dogs out there. They just re-signed Jamison Crowder to their practice squad. They got Scary Terry, who is one of the most underrated receivers in the league, if you ask me. They got Sam Howell, which we'll see how that translates. And then they got some defensive pieces as well. So, Cowboys or Eagles take this division. Now, I talked about my division winners already. Let's talk about my wild card pieces. On the AFC side of things, give me Cincy because I didn't pick them as a division winner. Give me the Jets and give me. I'm gonna make somebody mad out here because there's a team I'm forgetting. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. There's not a team I'm forgetting. I knew I was gonna pick the Chargers. Or give me the Chiefs if the Chargers win the division. On the NFC flip side of things, give me the Giants. Give me the team that doesn't win the division, and give me the Seattle Seahawks. So those are my playoff locks. I believe what? There was 4. Yeah. There was all those. Those are my wild card spots. I might be missing one. But that said, I really don't got too much else to say on this end. Thank y'all for tapping in. I appreciate the support. Side note, I am going to take out in my bio on Twitter that I'm going to post Mondays and Fridays because it's just not feasible for me to do that. I'm going to go back to saying that I'll try to post 2 times a week. I'm trying to be consistent with this. I'm trying to post as much as I can, and I'm trying to keep this a consistent product. So thank y'all for the love, support. I'm going to edit and upload this one and hopefully have this out by Friday, which is tomorrow. So I'm going to be staying up late tonight. But thank y'all for the love. I greatly appreciate it. And y'all have a good one.